that I just wanted to touch on. Thanks, Mike. O'Quinn, appreciate that. Rest in peace to DMX, one of the most dynamic, vibrant, and sensational artists of my childhood and growing up and being, a teenager and growing up in LA. Always had a ton of respect for DMX. Motivated me, inspired me a ton. Very, very incredible artist, a voice of a generation. Rest in peace, DMX. Very sad situation. 50 years old, gone too soon. Today's guest on the show. Hopefully we could, get into a little bit better on mood. Let's see where Cedric is. We got to pull him in. Let me see. Are we even connected? Let's see if Ceballos, can you join my live? Former Lakers star Cedric Ceballos is in the building. I don't know if y'all remember, but he averaged like 22 one year with the Lakers. We're going to get Ced in here. I don't know where Ced is. I'm trying to request him. It's not letting me in with Cedric Ceballos. Thank you to all the viewers joining. Appreciate you guys. Let's see if Ced joins the chat. Shout out Jelani McCoy. Big Lon is in the chat waiting on Cedric Ceballos. Ballos will be in the building. We got the real T Murray on. We're just waiting on Cedric Ceballos. That's all we're waiting on. Just click on my live. Waiting on Ced. Where? Oh, guys, does anybody see Ced? Does anybody see Ced? Call Ced up. What's up, Ced? How you doing?
You got 2 pages?
Yo, so not the 54, the Chris Johnson live. I apologize about that. It's Chris Johnson live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my bad.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, let's get it.
Okay.
All right. Y'all, why y'all on Ced's head like that? Ced being Hollywood. Lon says Ced being Hollywood. Oh, there goes Ced. We're gonna go live with Ced. Building, y'all. Hey, they on your head already. Tracy Murray, Jelani McCoy. The whole chat is on you, Ced. It's the man of the hour. What's up, Ced?
KJ, what's good?
Man, hold on. Let's see. Your camera's loading up a little bit. Man, I'm good, man. I'm good, bro. I'm good, man. Thank you for taking the time out to join the show, bro. We got Tracy Murray in here already cracking jokes. We got Big Jelani McCoy in here already talking stuff. Everybody was waiting on this one, man. Thank you for stopping by KJ Live. Ced, just catch us up on what you've been up to lately, man.
First, I've been a fan of your live for a while. I always pop in, comment. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that you showing some Cal State Fullerton love. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always the Bruins. Now, let the record state. You know what I'm saying? I grew up right down the street. I hope, prayed. I did everything I could do to become a Bruin. I was a junior college transfer, so
Yeah.
even though Walt tried to get me in.
Yeah, that was back in the time they wasn't rocking with the JUCOs, huh?
Yeah, they still right. You know what I'm saying? I understand. It's just a
Yeah.
high end school. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
it don't make no
I get it.
sense though. It don't make no sense, Ced. It don't make no sense.
Yeah. But Walt tried to get me in. You know what I'm saying? And him and the Little Hazards, we was all ball boy. I mean, we all played for B&B Sports together at Queen Anne. So
Wow.
I grew up on the Mama Hazard and everything. Rest in peace, Walt. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's the huge thing about it is and then the connection. Kenny Fields lived down the street, like a couple of apartments away from me.
Wow.
Rod Foster, we got the same bloodline. Obviously, I'm always been an advocate of Mr. Lou Alcindor, Kareem
Yes, sir.
Abdul-Jabbar.
Yes, sir.
He's always been number one on my list as all time greatest, and y'all can debate all y'all want. But the only person to change the rules of the game, and he's the #1 leading scorer in the NBA. I'm just throwing little facts out because I love Kareem so much. That does not have a jumper or a three-pointer. Come on, man.
Wow.
And he had to wait
That's
for somebody to
wild.
give him the ball.
That's
Come
wild.
on. You know what I'm saying?
But just staying on that, what about those that say Wilt? Because, they opened up the lane for Wilt. They did a couple of things for Wilt, too. What do you think about Wilt being the greatest?
No. But they didn't stop you for the dominant. They opened it up the lane. Obviously, they started the zone defense back for Shaq. But they said you cannot dunk the basketball because of an individual. Like, come on.
That's ill.
Come on. You can't dunk the basketball. Jordan brought fashion.
You got to lay it now?
Yeah, Jordan brought fashion. Magic brought personality and marketing, that whole thing. LeBron is taking it to another level. Kobe, all those greats, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that you cannot do something.
That's weak. That's weak.
Like, think about it. Jordan, you can't do the fadeaway no more.
That's weak.
Shaq, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
No, it's crazy said. It's crazy said. But you mentioned Kenny Fields, which takes me to a point of sort of 80s LA basketball. I want you to talk about what hood you grew up in, the school you went to, and what that climate was like back in the 80s, man, because we're fascinated by that on the show.
Yeah. So I grew up in 3 hoods. I grew up in West LA, Robinson Park area. Obviously Chris Mills, Craig Smith. Let me see. What's the big fella now? I can't remember. Earl Duncan came from there a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Dave Fizdale, head coach right now. He's a Robinson Park legend. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We got a couple others that's coaching, assistant coaches, and development coaches that are in the league. We can't forget Swaggy P. You know what I'm saying? We can't forget Nick Young.
Cannot forget Swaggy P.
and quiet as kept, his brother was better than him.
Word?
He didn't make it. Yeah, his brother was better than him. That's just saying, like with me, my brother was way better than me, but I just happened to be the one who made it.
Right.
So that was my hood. I also, 46th Western Crenshaw High School, that era, because my pops, that's where he was at. Repping neighborhood, repping 40s, repping 60s, repping all that stuff, all that Hyde Park area.
Yeah.
And then I went to high school in Dominguez and Compton. So, I got a taste of everything. And people always say, why you always bragging about Cali basketball, this, that, and other? Because we got the little advantage. Our weather is bananas. So see, East Coast, when basketball season is in, y'all can only play really indoors. If y'all played outdoors, it was like gloves, it was freezing, it was all that.
Tim's.
We got to play 24 hours a day, all the time, even in the rain. I remember balling in the rain. Like, the rain wasn't even that bad. It was just wet, so we took that as a challenge. So that's why, I have this argument with God, the Sham God. He's on our staff with the Mavericks as our ball handling and player development. He went to Providence, got in the league a little bit.
I played against Sham God in Malaysia, bro. Yeah.
And we talk about why so many great point guards come out of the East, because y'all don't have that many places to play like we got that many. So, possession,
that's real.
Going to play at the parks, possession is key.
Priority.
Like, if you get an opportunity to win the game and you don't, you sitting, or you got to get on the bus. For us, you got to get on the bus and go to Gompers. You got to get on the bus and go to Cheviot. You got to get on the bus and go to, what I'm saying? Because that wait is so long.
It's ridiculous. Your day will be done. Your day will be done next time you get on,
you be like, man, how you ball today? Yeah, we played one game and lost.
Yeah. And that was it.
That was it. That was all I played, was one game. So we had that debate all the time.
No, that's a great debate, Sid. But who in the 80s, man, like your peer group, who was the ones? Who were the main guys, man? Just the names of, like, was L. Hut in your peer group?
Yeah.
Talk about them cats, man.
Yeah, well, at the top of my list, and please, you guys, I believe me when I say this. When I first saw this individual on the court, I was like, Mom, who is that man out there playing with those kids? John Williams. I was like, he was the slowest, quickest, fastest, creative individual I've ever seen in sports, not just basketball.
Yeah.
Just the fact that he never got rattled. He never got upset. I mean, they would have people climbing all over him. His moves were so defined and shaped. It wasn't nothing extra to him. It was just so simple. Like, he knew they talk about angles now. He
Yeah.
knew angles back then. Like he could get,
A savant.
oh my God, he just knew angles and just knew how to get. And I was just like, God, this is bananas.
Yep.
And just to watch the impact that he would have in Crenshaw's gym, and then he got an opportunity. I got the opportunity to see him play Dorsey.
Yeah.
I got an opportunity to see him play.
Oh, you went to those games? You was
Yeah,
at
yeah,
those
yeah,
games?
yeah, 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 yeah. Because see, like I said, mom, that's pops live right there. So moms,
Yeah. Yeah.
they basketball nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Moms with the LA high, but they was basketball nuts. So they drag us along like, yo, you coming with us? And
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, this dude is
Who's
bananas.
that man? Who's that man out there, Mom?
Please, mom, get that man off of that court with the kids.
And did you have a chance to go up against Crenshaw or Modern Day or any of these powerhouses when you were at Dominguez? Just talk about Dominguez, kind of that little history, because obviously it became one of the preeminent programs in the country, and you were kind of there at those beginning stages and laid the groundwork.
Right. I had no impact on laying no groundwork. Let's get that straight.
Yeah,
I played 1 year varsity my senior year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Didn't play at all. If we blowing somebody out, I got 4 to 8 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Ronnie Coleman was the man, USC.
That's my boy.
Yeah. Ronnie.
I was
Coleman.
in Turkey with Ronnie.
Mike Elliott, Eric Washington.
Okay.
Our point guards with Rennie England and Marlon Vaughn, great friend of mine, Marlon Vaughn.
Yes, sir.
So I played 1 year varsity, man. Before that was Ice Cream Curtis Williams, my brother Chris, Rod Palmer, who's an assistant at UCLA. He went to UCLA, then transferred to Irvine. Now he's back at UCLA. He's assistant right now with the Bruins. And then one of the greatest cats I've ever seen too. I want to put him in the top 5 all time is Michael Moore. Left-handed Michael Jordan at 6'8". He's left-handed Michael Jordan at 6'8".
From Dominguez?
From Dominguez. Rest in peace. Went to New Mexico. Went to New Mexico down with the Lobos, but just couldn't shake that powder. Couldn't shake that. You know what I'm saying? That's the tragic ending. But he was left-handed Michael Jordan for real.
Wow.
So I never got to crack. I was JV. I was freshman team. I just never got to crack the varsity to my senior year. And then Ronnie, I don't know if you remember, Ronnie, during the last game, Ronnie broke his wrist in a dunk contest in a pep rally.
Okay.
So coach was like, yo, you got to start. And we played 6 games. We ended up losing the Pasadena Mirror in the championship by Stacey Augman hit 2 free throws with like 0.5 seconds on the clock, you know what I'm saying, and beat us. But that 5 games, I went bananas. I went from not playing at all to 20 points a game, 15, 17 boards a game. So everybody like, yo, who is this kid?
Yeah. Shout out Kenny Thomas in the building. That's my era, getting it done. The big fella, Kenny Thomas. Said you didn't play that much. You got a little burn towards the end. You took the JUCO route. Now I've had the star of Last Chance U, John Mosley, on the show, East LA College junior coach. Talk about the JUCO route, man. Why you took it and how it was for you.
Well, I had to. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even bother taking the SAT scores because I was SAT test because I wasn't getting recruited. Like I was at the end of the bid. So it was 2 ways for me to go. I made the decision. It's crazy how God works. You go north to Ventura or you go south to either West LA or Harbor. Harbor, because KC was at Harbor. I played under KC at Watts Magicians when I was playing for the Watts Magicians. I played under KC, and KC was assistant coach there. So my mom knew him. Grew up with my mom. So I was thinking about, there's 2 ways I can go. I wasn't going to play ball. I was just going because mom's like, look here, boy, you're graduating. Get your butt on up out the house. You graduate from high school. It's time to bounce. So my future was these pipes. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to get into radio and television. At the time, I grew up
early on.
Yeah. I used to love listening to the radio. Quick story: me and my brother, we got the Pong Atari. The first one. Yeah. Mom's was like, "Don't put it on the big floor model, TV. Do not put it on. I'm gonna get somebody over here to hook it up correctly so it doesn't mess up my TV."
Right.
You can't tell 2 little kids that with a video game. Man, we boom, blew the tube out. Blew the tube out. So she's like, all right, I'm going to fix y'all. I'm not going to fix that TV for 2 years. But you can hear. I can hear the Brady Bunch. I can hear Good Times. I can hear the Jeffersons, but I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
So I just put my head, like I did it back in the 50s and 40s, man. I just put my head next to it and listen to this, listen to the stories, listen to the news, listen to the sports. And that's how I got this great way of just telling stories and describing stuff. So that's what I wanted to do. And I had turntables. My first job I ever got was the '84 Olympics. I was a ball boy for the '84 Olympics, man. And Jordan doesn't remember me, but Wayman, rest in peace. Wayman remembered me. Chris Mullin remembered me. I never got a chance to re-meet Bobby Knight to see if he remembered, but yeah, I was a ball boy, man, for that.
How was that experience, man? '84 was glorious.
Yeah, but I don't know. I didn't, what I'm saying? Jordan wasn't Jordan at the time.
Yeah, you wasn't tripping. Yeah.
I wasn't really tripping. I was just like, it's a job. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm going to buy some turntables. I'm going to buy some turntables with this money. You know what I'm saying? That's all I knew. So that was the big thing. You know what's crazy is that we always had to report to UCLA. For some reason, you could not, for security reasons, you couldn't take a bus or drive or walk up to where we had to go, which was at USC, which was at the Forum, which was all over the place. So you have to go to UCLA, and then they'll bus you to wherever you had to go that day. It's crazy.
So, Sid, let me ask you this real quick. So, like in JUCO, did you like do the house parties, and were you cracking as a DJ while hooping in JUCO as well? Because I don't know the answer, but I'm just thinking like I know.
Oh man, yo, I started my first spin job was I may have been about 13, 14 years old, and my mom's in our apartment next door. She like, my son got she got another turntable. He can bring it over and hook it up. He know how to do something. So that was my first gig, just DJing for my parents, my moms, and all them their friends. And then once I got to school, it was over with, man. I got, like I said, '84. I got my turntables with that Olympic money. Damn. And then I started doing whatever. I mean, he'd be like, "Hey, man, they need you to DJ at bar mitzvah. Hey, man, they need you to. Hey, how much? $20? Okay, $100. I was just scrambling, and then mixtapes start coming out. So, man, I was.
So you dropped one?
Oh,
you were dropping plenty?
I was dubbing mixtapes all the time, man. I was that kept me full. Yeah. Because you know what I'm saying? You might in UCLA really take care of you, but in college you starving.
Yeah.
I mean, you are starving. I mean, it's points you'd be like, man, what am I gonna eat? And then I say to a lot of kids, like, once moms drop me off, it took me about 2 or 3 hours to go, man, I'm never going back home. Like, this freedom is bananas. I get to do what I want, that's the great thing about college, that whole experience thing. But yeah, I was dropping tapes. I was mixing. And I got a dude named Jay Scratch. Out of Ventura, out of 805.
Yeah.
Because I was young. I went to school when I was 16. I went to college when I was 16. So he got me in a club. He got me in the club to DJ because he was DJing on campus opening the first day of school. He DJed on campus, and he's like, "Oh, you can DJ?" I said, "Yeah, let me DJ." I scratched for him a little bit. He's like, "Okay," and he got me in a club, 21 and older club. I think it was called Mods in Ventura, and that was my first club DJ. And it's
talk about. Said I'm enamored with music. Like I have a musical just love. My little brother is an artist by the name of I Love McConan, and so I just kind of have always been fascinated with music. Talk about what inspires you or motivates you when you do your sets. Like, how do you figure out what you're going to play, and like then when you change it up, like the mood. Like, I'm just curious to get in the mind of a DJ. When do you know how to throw certain joints out there?
Yeah, I'm kind of sick with it. I never make a playlist. Okay. I just go off of the flow of the energy that I'm trying to put out, and that the crowd is. I mean, I could go from a country song to NWA and blend that whole thing in. I'm a real fan of DJ Jazzy Jeff. Mm-hmm. I'm a real fan of Scratch Bastard. DJ AM when he was alive. Just the fact that there is no genre of music. It's just music. Mm-hmm. And if a slow song goes in with an up-tempo song, go ahead and blend it in. So I don't really think about, I know a lot of people sit on the sides, they're turning DJ and they going over their playlists and putting their playlists together. Like, I'm gonna put this with this with this. Mm-hmm. And I never do that. I don't have no crates in my laptop. I don't have none of that. I got tons and tons of records, but I just go off of the flow and how I feel.
That's dope, man. That's dope. So you do JUCO, you end up at Fullerton.
Yeah.
Now you kind of had a good career at Fullerton. I would guess to say, was Bruce Bowen? Did you play with Bruce or was he older?
Yeah, Bruce was my rookie. He
Oh,
was
that was
my
your,
freshman. That was
talk
my
about the
freshman.
Fullerton experience and just
Yeah.
what that did for you as far as getting on the NBA radar. Because yeah, it came from not getting no burn to JUCO. It's a hell of a story.
Yeah, yeah, man. So, and let's rewind a little bit
Yeah,
further because
go
I didn't
ahead.
get recruited to go JC. Like I said, I was making that decision because mom's was like, "Yo, you got to bounce."
So you was on the
So,
academic at
so I'm on.
16.
I'm at Taco Bell working.
Wow.
Coach came in to Taco Bell. I didn't know it was Coach. You know what I'm saying? He came into Taco Bell, and I had never worked the front. I don't know if you remember. Taco Bell had this menu that came down,
Yes,
and if
sir.
you tall like us, boom, we just keep hitting our head. So I'm in the
Blangum.
back. I'm in the back working the drive-through, food prep, and nobody's up front. So I just came up front. I seen a black man. I said, "Hey, let me help you." I'm in Ventura County. I said, "Hey, I don't know how to work this register, but let me get your order, and I'll get it ready. So when somebody does take you, they just take your money. You don't have to waste no time." So I kept hitting my head on that thing. Boom, boom, boom. He was like, "You pretty tall." I said, "Yeah." He said, "You too tall to be working here." I said, I really got no choice. You know what I'm saying? Woo, woo. He says, "You play basketball?" I said, "I used to." He said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I go to school right there." He said, "Oh, yeah. What high school did you go to?" And I said, "Dominguez." And he go, "Oh, man, yeah, man. They lost in the championship. That Spanish guy, Ceballos, man, he's pretty good, man." And then I was like, "Huh? Ceballos?" He was like, "Yeah, that dude's pretty good." I said, "That's me." He was like, "Yeah, right." I was like, "Yeah, that's me." And I'm not Mexican. I just, got a Mexican last name, Spanish last name. He's like, "Well, what you doing here?" I said, "I just told you I go to school right there." He's like, "Man, I'm the coach over there. You want to play ball?" I said, "I can't. I can't afford. I got to play for school." He said, "I get you a job on campus. Will you come?" He came the next day with a job, Chris. My working days at Taco Bell was over with, and the rest is 30 years in the NBA, man.
Wow.
It's crazy. How, like I said, that path God was like, you go north because
Yeah.
everybody went to West LA or Harbor.
Yeah.
So it was like I was gonna see all my homies, all my peoples, but nobody I knew went to Ventura, and it was kind of like, all right, let me just go here and study and
Yeah.
get focused, and then I can always come back to the block. You know what I'm saying? You can always come back
Yes.
to the block. So it's just those little things like that, man.
Talk about the moment that you heard your name called with this in the second round with the 48 pick of the draft. What
Oh
did you feel
man,
like, man? What was that like, man?
it's crazy. But first, my Fullerton experience was bananas, and we got an opportunity. My dream game. It was my dream game. It was a lot of people on our team
Who?
dream
Who
game
got
when we
against
when we got
UCLA?
to when we got to come to Poly, man. We
Talk
got to.
about that.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, we
Is
got to come
Tracy still
to.
on here?
I know
What year was
Tracy is
this?
still on.
What
Yeah,
year
he's
was
still on
that?
there. Yo, you don't even know. You don't even know. Like, and this is the thing. The difference in between locker rooms. Like people, we know it because we in it. The difference in the emotion in the locker room. Tracy, Mitchell Butler, Derek Martin, Trevor Wilson.
Wow.
I mean, I can go on and on how many pros
Wow.
is on this squad.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Gerald Mackins, what's the big fella? Kevin Walker,
Woo!
and there was some other pros on the bench, man, that just, and Tracy, yeah, Tracy's playing, and they just like, another day, another win, whatever.
They doing that Fullerton thing, that act, that behavior towards Fullerton, like
It's just
whatever.
like that. But we all homies. We all
Yeah.
play with each other, so we all know each other, and so we go into this game like you don't understand the ticket. First things first, our budget ain't like y'all's. So our game is at 7. We get on the bus at 3 from Orange County to Westwood on a freaking weekday. You know what we was doing for 3 hours, bruh, in
Yes.
traffic.
Sitting uncomfortably.
Uncomfortably on a cheap bus in traffic. So
Come on.
we trying to figure out the tickets and who's going this, that, and the other, whoop, whoop. And then we, this long ride, and we like, okay, it's getting close, man. We supposed to be on the court shooting around right now, getting loose, stretching or something.
Stretching. Yeah.
So coach come back there like, hey, put your uniform on. We like, damn. I'm nice right now. I want to walk in Poly with the red carpet, man. I want to walk in with my jersey on.
Heck yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I got the starter jacket. I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm
Come
jiggy.
on.
I'm like this
Come on.
coach. This Westwood, coach.
Come
This
on.
Westwood. I grew up on Westwood, man. Come on, man. You can't let us do that to us. He like, hey, get dressed. We late. Woo, woo. So we getting dressed on the bus. So we come on, obviously flip-flops and shoes with no socks because we got to get
Yeah.
taped while we get in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then we rushing to get warmed up, and then we walk. You know, it's different when you playing pickup games in Poly. And then when the popcorn is popping and the student section that never sits down, and you go to shoot around, and then all of a sudden these banners just
You
start
start noticing the banners,
wow,
dog.
these banners just because you see them when you play pickup, but they just start just beaming on you like So Tracy and them just kicking it. They doing trick shots and having
being
time
sweet in
shooting
the layup line. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So then we go into the meeting and we come on out. All right, we all hyped. So you know what you want to do first thing, because Polly got some of the softest rims that you ever want to touch. You know what I'm saying? So it's we letting it all out. We looking around like who saw that? Who saw that? So then they start the announcements. They start the introductions, and we know the Bruin students is gonna be like, who's that with the papers and all this? So we like, oh man, what they gonna say when you come out? What they gonna say when you come out? I was like, all right, I'm gonna mess with them a little bit. I'm gonna pause a little bit, and everybody else run out like, yeah, coming from Cal State, they run it out. I said, fuck that. I walked out like I've been waiting for this all my life. We want to play in Poly. I walked out, all slow and everything.
Yeah.
So game start. Tracy and them just blew us out, man. We down by 20.
First half?
First half, we down by 20. Hey, the locker room, nothing but crying. We crying like babies. All of us.
Who's your coach?
John Sneed at the time.
Okay.
We crying. Me, Wayne Williams, Mark Hill, David Moody, who else? A.G. Ward.
Oh, okay.
A.G. Ward. We all crying, man. We crying like this is our, because we all LA kids, you know what I'm saying? We all LA kids. We finally get a shot to play in Poly, man, and we getting shrugged by 20. And the whole halftime, coach didn't say nothing. And then I got up and wiped my face off a little bit and was like, fuck it, man. We just got to go out and show face, man. Let's just go out and just show face, because we know we're gonna get it in the summertime. When we at LA, when we LA at the summer league, they gonna give it to us. Tracy and them, they gonna give it to us. Derek really gonna give it to us. Mitch Butler might be nice and cordial about it, but he gonna laugh. You know what I'm saying? And Trevor ain't gonna say nothing much, but his look is gonna be like, oh yeah, you got us. And we came out and ball. We killed them the second half. Ended up losing by maybe like 6. You know what I'm saying? But we outscored them. We did everything. We killed them second half. But just the mystique of UCLA, the power of that unit on having so many pros on that squad. Jim Herrick was the coach at the time. Just all of that, man. Just John, Coach Wooden, rest in peace, is sitting over there. You know what I'm saying? Like all that. It's intimidating, bro. I can imagine a young fella going into Cameron Indoor or you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it's intimidating, man. Like you guys are up 10 points before the game even start.
Oh man. No, shout out. This is Chris Johnson. I'm on with Cedric Ceballos. You're watching KJ Live. Said, do you think, so you dropped numbers that game. Do you think that game had anything to do with you getting drafted, or did that get you on the radar, or had you already been putting in work?
I had great games against big time teams. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had great games at UCLA. I had great games against Stacey Augmon, #1 defensive player. He got defensive player.
How much you drop on Stace?
I averaged about 40 on Stace. So every time we play Vegas, I'm getting 40. Every time, no matter what, I'm getting 40. And then at the time, Santa Barbara was kind of nice.
B. Shaw?
Mexico State. Yeah, B. Shaw and Carrick DeHart.
DeHart.
What's the young fella name? Oh, he was freshman of the year, too. He probably was your era, too. Light-skinned cat with Idris. Oh. Idris Jones.
Yes, Idris Jones.
Yeah, Idris Jones. Yeah, Pasadena kid, too. So he, so every time we played big-time schools, I got big-time numbers. But I still didn't think, man, Fullerton, I still didn't think I had what it took to get to the league. I figured I was going to have to go CBA if I was going to go.
Okay.
So, it's ironic. The last 6 games of the season is when, at the time, my senior year, Keith Starr. And I didn't know at the time that Keith Starr played in the NBA. I didn't know. He went to Pitt. He played for Chicago, the Bulls a little
Okay.
bit. I didn't know he was our assistant, but I didn't know he was a pro. He
Oh.
never came across like that. He never even told us.
Okay.
And Jerry West and Mitch Kupchak came to watch us play Santa Barbara in our place. And I'm warming up and I go, shit, the fucking logo.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit. And that's Mitch Kupchak. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm stopping. And he saw me get shocked. And he grabbed me and was like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, yo, you see that? It's Jerry West and Mitch Kupchak. And he's like, yeah. I was like, damn, they must come to see MacArthur. Because me and MacArthur was battling for the top rebounders of the
Who? Eric
NCAA.
MacArthur?
Eric
E-Mac?
MacArthur.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Yeah, so he was top. We were the top rebounders in the nation.
Yeah.
He was number one, number two. We would fluctuate on top rebounders.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, they come to see MacArthur. You know what I'm saying? He was like, boom, kind of smacked me in the side of the head. Like, they care to see you. I said, what? He's like, they here to see you, man. They've been calling. These teams been calling, man. It's just coach don't want to, tell you that. They've been calling, man. So, get your ass out there and put some work in and get this money. So I was like,
shit.
All right, he had a great game. It was on ESPN, Big Monday, a lot of people on the East Coast watched it at 1 a.m, time.
Yeah.
But, and that's when I really thought I had a chance at being a pro player. So draft day, Jerry called me and said, hey, the day before the draft, well, no, let's rewind. I got my suit. I got the family tickets. We going out there to New York.
Where was it? Oh, New York. All right.
It was in New York. And Marty Blake, rest in peace. Marty Blake called. He said, I don't think you should make that flight. And I was like, what? He's like, nah, because I had went to Orlando Classic, which was the college all-star or whatever. I led that in scoring. I won the dunk contest over D Brown. That's another story too that we can get into if you want to.
Yeah, actually no. Hold on. Talk about that. Two future dunk contest winners facing off in college as seniors. Set that up, man. If you got time, bro, I got all the time you need.
There is a film that I cannot find. Pat Williams, who was the GM of the Orlando Magic at the time, he says he has the film of that dunk contest. Every dunk that D Brown did in the dunk contest, I beat him. He took all my dunks and took it to the NBA. He took me pumping my shoes up. I pumped my shoes up in Orlando as seniors. He took it to the NBA. He went to Boston. Boston wasn't that good, so he got to play. He was starting. I went to the Suns. I wasn't playing. So, they don't put people who not playing in the dunk contest. You got to get some minutes. So he got to go in, boom. He do everything. He pump his shoes up. He get the contract. Soon as we played Boston in Boston, he did the dab dunk. I did the dab dunk first. Soon as we went to Boston, I ran out the tunnel and I ran right up to him. I was like, do I get my percentage or do I get my percentage or what? He just started laughing. And to this day, he denied. I'm like, all right, I'm going to let you ride with your story. But you and I both know every dunk that you did in the dunk contest and to get you a shoe deal, pumping up those shoes, you stole from me when I beat you in the dunk contest.
Exclusive on KJ Live. You heard it here first. D Brown swagger jacking dunks in college.
Yeah.
That's sweet. No.
So Marty Blake says, no, don't make the flight. So I'm like, oh, what's going on? But then Jerry West called and was like, yo, we got the last pick in the first round. If you are available, we're going to get you. So I'm like, all right, I'm straight. I'm coming home to the city. I'm coming home to LA. I'm getting drafted by LA. So the draft goes, obviously, my dude, Derek Coleman goes number 1. My dude, GP goes number 2.
Wow.
Yeah. Number 3,
Who was 3?
Chris Jackson, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf.
You was in that draft? That's one of the sickest drafts of my lifetime. Are you kidding me?
We got numbers. We had numbers. And then all the small forwards was going before me. Willie Burton, Willie Glass, Bo Kimball, all the guys. I was like, yo, I get these guys numbers.
Yeah.
Why am I dropping? And they got down to the last pick. So I'm like, all right. So I got my family. We all around and we in Houston at the time because I was out there working out. And okay, here you go. Lakers pick. With the 26th pick, the last pick in the first round, the LA Lakers pick Eldon Campbell out of Clemson. And I was like, yeah, Eldon, that's my dude. We grew up together, Inglewood, Morningside. I'm like, wait, hold on. Damn, I didn't get picked in the first round. It just hit me like, boom, sack of potatoes. And I went outside, man. Went outside and cried, man. I went outside and cried and shit. And then my brother came out and was like, yeah, man, it's all right, man. Ooh, this, that, and the other. And then strong black woman came out. My mama came outside and was
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, get your ass in here. This is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. Let's ride this out. It
Yeah.
don't matter where you got picked. You still got a chance. Get your ass in here.
So
Black woman.
perspective.
She
Perspective.
came out and was like, nah, we ain't gonna do that. We
Mm.
ain't gonna do that. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Because she knew that it didn't matter where I went. Just as long as you do your best when you get there, you work hard and you just let things come to you.
Yeah.
So and then I got drafted during a commercial break. So we came back at the commercial break, and it was like the second to the last pick of the second round. I think,
Yeah.
you know, Trevor got drafted after me, and then some people who didn't even come to the NBA, but they pronounced my name wrong. But it is
Yeah.
what it is, man. Like,
Yeah.
and this is my 31st. This is my 31st year consecutive, 31st year in the NBA
Yeah.
with a job, with a check. So
Yeah.
for those that are they may be catching this ear right now, it don't matter, man, where they place you. It doesn't matter what school you go to. If you can get it, people know you can get it. If you can ball, you'll find a way. I mean, sometimes, like I hear people like, oh man, I went to this school, but this coach, he fucked me, man. He this, that, and the other. I'm like, nah, that can't happen. If you really want it bad enough, you can really get it.
Yeah.
So
Talk so with the Phoenix years, you're very productive, part of some very, very good teams out there.
yeah.
How much did the veterans of that Phoenix group, how much did they impact you, your career, and how you went about your business?
Yeah, it's huge, man. The veterans, the OGs are so huge in your career. And that's one of the things I cringe about the NBA, that they eliminate that. They eliminate that old school veteran that doesn't play. I mean, Miami is riding with Udonis Haslem,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But other than that, it's not really a guy who's still in the league that doesn't get minutes, but he is so productive to players and the team. I mean,
Yeah.
he's the glue. And my guys, when I came in, were Kurt Rambis, Ed Neely,
Mm-hmm.
um, guys like that, veterans that don't want no fanfare. They made a lot of money. They're still making a lot of money, and they just want to teach you the right ways and show you how this league works and put
What,
you in the right scenario.
what kind of stuff did you learn from Kurt Rambis? Because we know Rambis,
Yeah,
the glasses, the guys. But what was he like
yeah.
as a mentor, man?
Man, he was straight up with you. I mean, he never bullshitted you. He like it was trade rumors my first year that I might get traded, and I'm like, man, what? I don't know what trade is. I don't know how it works, whatever. And he's like, hey, man, you got to play for the jersey that you're wearing right now. Bust your ass, and you're still in the NBA. If somebody trade rumors means that somebody wants you, and also it means that somebody thinks you're valuable enough to trade you. You know what I'm saying? Like they think you're worth something because they want something. They need, you know what I'm saying? Like just like trading car. He hit me with the trading car thing. So I used to trade cars when you was a kid. He was like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, even though you had that Reggie Jackson, you knew that you really wanted that Hank Aaron. And
Mm-hmm.
giving up that Reggie Jackson is you a big fan of Reggie Jackson and you love the Yankees, but you know that Hank Gathers is going to complete your set. So he broke it down to me like that, and I never really worried about trades or
Yeah.
this, that, and the other. And the trade deadline. It's crazy because my old head too was Eddie Johnson,
Yeah.
and he got traded. This is crazy. This would really woke me up. Like, hey, this is a business. He got traded. We was in New Jersey playing the Nets. The first time I'm in New York. And I'm on the table. I got one ankle tape, and he get up, Rook, get up, bounce, Rook, get out of there, Rook. I'm like, so I got sit down, let him get taped. So he got one ankle tape, and
Yeah.
Cotton Fitzsimmons came in and said, "Let me holler at you." It was like, boom, we just traded you. So he comes back out of the room, he cuts his tape off, and I'm like, "Can I go? Is it cool, vet?" He's like, "Yeah, man, go on and go." And he starts putting on his suit, and I'm like, yo, I get my other ankle tape. I'm like, yo, what you doing, man? We got to play. He's like, look here, young fella, I got traded, man. But you was the reason I got traded, man. You keep putting in work, man. You know what I'm saying? You was the reason I got traded. And I was like, well, I didn't. What did I do? He's like, no, man, you could play, man. You could play. And they got a young dude. They can pay less. that can score like,
Well,
or
so
easier than me.
Eddie's having this conversation with you, said
He's
in the
having this
middle of the locker room.
conversation while he's putting his suit on. He's like, yo, you making minimum. You know what I'm saying? Because at that time I was making 125 a year. He says you make a minimum. You can score more than me. You don't need no plays. You know what I'm saying? You younger than me. You 10 years younger than me. So this is a no brainer. And I was like, damn. I'm like, damn. This is. And I'm playing. I'm like, this is a business. So we trade Eddie Johnson for Xavier McDaniels.
X-Men. X-Men. What was up
So
with X-Men?
it's like going from here to there. Like, nigga dudes never wore no socks with church shoes on.
The corns and all that.
Oh man, he's just hilarious guy. He's got a big house in Phoenix. I came visiting. Big house in Phoenix, no furniture, just a bed in his room, and he got 17 cars.
Is he an old car collector? Or what kind of
Porsches like Porsche 911, Porsche 912, Porsche 914. Like, bro, how many Porsches you need? Oh no, this is 25 too, and this one the 22, and I need the. I'm like, oh okay, bro. Like, how about some furniture? Sell 2 cars, get some furniture,
get a sofa. Staying on the Phoenix stuff, Charles Barkley. Now, how is it going up against Chuck? You have any stories? Just what was he like being a teammate of Charles Barkley back then?
This is great. So I didn't get to play my rookie year against Charles when he came to Philly, but him and Cotton Fitzsimmons are real good buddies, and they would have conversations while this dude has the ball in his hand. Like, Cotton, I cannot believe you got this dude guarding me. Oh, this is over with. No, get on out the way. I got this. I'm like, this dude is bananas, man. How can you conduct? Only person I've seen do that, and I saw him do it as a kid, is Gary Payton. Conduct. Like, hey, you over there, put that right there. I'll need you right there. Okay,
that's
we're
crazy.
going down to the big G Foster. Get down, G Foster. Okay, here we go. I told you. Hey, what's up, Mom? How you doing? Let me get some popcorn. GP could conduct. He got so many things going on while he playing. And this is when he was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This is when he was a kid, up in Oakland, man. He used to come down and play, in all the tournaments, the BCI tournaments and all that stuff. So Charles was doing that. So then when we got the new arena, and then we made the trade for Charles, we traded Jeff Hornacek, Tim Perry, and Andrew Lang for him. I'm working out and just finished the workout. And little did I know Charles had got off the plane. It's all been documented. Him getting off the plane and him arriving in Phoenix and Cotton saying, hey, we ain't got no banners. We need you to this, that, and the other. And I'm in the bathroom stall. And I'm using the bathroom. And I hear this big voice coming. Hey, yeah, hold on. Let me use the can right quick. I'll be back. And it's Charles. So he comes in the other stall. And he's like, he starts doing whatever. And then all of a sudden, he just starts cursing. Banging on the thing. I'm like, oh, so I'm over there washing my hands, finishing it up. And he come, hey, Ceballos, give me $100. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm being jacked by Charles. This nigga's robbing me right now. What's going on? So I reach in my pocket, I give him $100. He snatch it from me. He go back to the stall, and I'm like, okay, what is he doing? He put the $100 in the toilet. I'm like, what? Oh, I gotta play with this cat? What the fuck? He reaches inside the toilet, gets the $100, and comes back over. And I'm like, okay. He washes it off and this, that, and the other, and he hands it to me. So I grab it like this. And then he keeps washing something else off in his hands. And it's a quarter. And as he's washing that quarter off, he got, let me tell you something, said. They call me crazy, they call me outrageous, but I ain't stupid. I ain't putting my hand in no toilet for 25 cents. But I'll put my hand in the toilet for $100.25.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You heard it here first. What?
I said, this dude right here is my man. I'm hanging.
Wow.
The whole time I was in Phoenix with him, I was like, yo, I'm hanging with this dude. He's retarded, man. He's got to be one of the best OGs you could ever have. I mean, he would sit at the table with Michael and Jim Brown and Walter Payton and Ma Rashad, all these big wigs, man. And you sitting over there and you've been in rooms sometimes where you're like, yo, the names in here are bananas.
Man.
And he'll go, hey, me and my teammate, Cedric Ceballos, man. This is Cedric Ceballos. This is Michael, and this is Jim Brown, and this is Walter Payton, and whoop, whoop, and you like, all right. Like the fact that he does that all the time. He never, if you with him, you with him. He
Yeah.
never leaves you out of anything, and I love the guy for that, man.
That's a real OG. That's a
Yeah,
real, true OG. Talk about the 93 finals against the Bulls.
yeah, man. We had the best record. We was really rolling. Charles, we was that. I mean, KJ was nice. Chambers, Marley,
Whew.
Hornacek was an all-star. He was nice too. But we really it takes a little bit more to get over the hump. It's cool to go first round. It's cool to go second round. When you go into the finals, the Western Conference Finals and the finals, you need that big boy. You need somebody to sway the referees. You need somebody to boost ratings because this is a business. You need
Ooh. So
somebody to
you
boost
so wait,
ratings.
Said. You think that has something to do with this stuff?
You need somebody to boost ratings.
Yes, sir.
That whole thing. So once we got Charles, it's over with. It was the prime scenario, man. We had an opportunity to do that and he did that every time we was in trouble. Game 5 or game 5 against San Antonio. We never run a one flat. We never run a one flat for Charles. One flat, him and David Robinson. Let's go. He pulls up. Game over. Season over. See y'all. You know what I'm saying? Game. I broke my foot. Game 6.
Oh yeah.
Game 7. He calls a timeout with maybe about 8 minutes to go in the fourth. I think we may have been down by maybe 6. He calls a timeout. He's holding the ball. He's squeezing the ball. He finally gives it to the referee. He comes over and he always spits in it. He grabs a cup. Joe Prosky always give him a cut. And he spit in the cup. And he go, I got y'all this far. Come on, climb on, man. I'm going to get y'all the rest of the way. And that fourth quarter, game 7 against Seattle, Sean Kemp couldn't do nothing with him. Derek McKee couldn't do nothing with him. They couldn't do nothing with him. And he split triple teams to go into double teams. I mean, he did it all. I think he had 40 plus, 30 rebounds, something like that.
What was his superpower? Explain to us what is superpower? All of the greats have a superpower. What was Charles Barkley's superpower in your opinion?
I think it's got to be his strength. Just his Alabama country backwoods strength. I've never seen him work out. I never
you ain't seen him in the gym. You ain't seen him lifting.
Seen him. Even the practices that year, he would stretch. He would stretch, get warmed up, and then hit the jacuzzi.
Yeah.
While we practice, or he'd stand there on the bench on the sideline with the newspaper, reading the newspaper, wow. or he conducting a press conference. He never really practiced, so it was like, where does this dude get this from? Like, it just when you just anoint it, you just anoint it, man. And he might, everybody talk about his height. I've seen him jump with great leapers, people 2 times taller as him, and meet him at 12 o'clock. And then the pure force of being at 12 o'clock.
Go through. You threw that. You threw all that.
You know how hard that is to go 12 o'clock and then you make that other person that's running at you with momentum go the other way?
Bruh.
Just complete strength. He got a big, wide butt. He got big legs. He could get off the ground.
Yeah.
Size 16, 17 shoe. He had great balance.
How tall was he really? How tall?
He may be 6'5". He may be 6'5".
Maybe 6'5", but not like a tall 6'5", but like you 6'5". Okay, we'll give you 6'5".
Yes, yeah. Like if you take these shoes off, you might be 6'4".
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Wow.
Yeah, but just his will, man. Just the power and the will, just crazy. Like I said, he just took us to another level, and it's just unfortunate we went against the God. You know what I'm saying, in the finals. And everybody always said, "Oh, said if you'd have played in that finals, y'all would have won." I was like, "Yeah, there might have been a cold contender because I used to give Scotty numbers." You know what I'm saying? But Mike just, I don't even know why they're comparing him to other people, man.
That was probably statistically Jordan's best finals performance.
Yeah, he averaged what, 50 against us,
something sick. Just talk about Mike. Just a real quick one, man. Then we're going to move on to the timing with the Lakers. Just talk about watching Mike. You were out, just seeing him, play. I know, you guys are peers, but what was it like in the finals, watching him put on those type of performances?
Well, first, let's back it up. Once I got in the league, I made sure every time I got to see one of my idols, when I checked in the game, I went right up to him. Was like, "How you doing?" I'm says, and Mike, crazy in Chicago. "How you doing?" I'm says about. He's like, "Said, get out of here, man. Like, stop playing with me right now." Like, I'm serious. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because one, I don't know if I'm gonna get a couple of practice jerseys and I'm gonna be out the league in a second. I'm just trying to make sure that I can. When I'm old, I'm like, hey, I shook Michael Jordan's hand. I played and then who knows? There's tons of cameras everywhere. Somebody might get that picture. Who knows? So,
Yeah.
and then you find yourself looking during the game, Chris, looking at him and looking like, yo, he really rocking Jordans right now. Like, yo, Jordan is rocking Jordans right now. And his Jordans are flawless. Like, how sometimes your shoestring goes the wrong way?
Yes. Nothing.
Never have I
Never.
ever seen his shoes not be flawless. You know how you get a scuff on? Even on your new joints, you just got in the game and your teammates step on your foot. I never seen a scuff on his shoe.
I also saw when I played the Jordan Dome. I obviously played against you there too. But Mike had on these like custom Air Maxes that he was hooping in, bro, with the Jordan sign. But it was like I hadn't seen no shoe. It was like a
Crazy.
95 Air Max, but it had a
Yeah.
Jordan insignia.
Yes.
It was like, what is going on?
Yes.
What is this? But okay, so Mike, yeah, it was wild. What were you? What happened? How did you get traded to the Lakers? I always wanted to figure that part out.
It was me and Richard Dumas.
Oh.
And the same reason that Eddie got traded, and he told me, I told the same thing to Richard Dumas. Bro,
wow.
You younger than me, you make it less, you can do just about what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? But they need somebody to run plays for. They never really run plays for me. So I was just out there getting 20. You know what I'm saying? Just on my own. So they're running plays for you. So boom, here's an opportunity for them to get a high draft pick, which was Michael Finley.
Ooh.
And move me on to the Lakers. Jerry, when Jerry West says he wants you, Jerry West gets you. And it took him 4 years to get me. And as soon as I came to the press conference, that was one of the things he said. He was like, "Yeah, I told you was coming." I said, I didn't get you in the draft, but I told you was coming. And I was like, man, saying we've been good friends ever since. So it's just that's how that happened. Dumas, unfortunately, that powder messed with him a little bit, and he didn't really, he didn't play after that year, which I was shocked.
I was shocked too because he was balling since summer. Were you in summer league when he was at the Redondo? Yeah, remember? Because that's when I first saw him. I think Redondo or Loyola, but I was like, dog, who is this cat, man?
Yeah, that was my first year not playing with the Suns in the summer league. They had said I had signed my contract, and it was like, "Nah, you don't need to play no more." So I ended up playing with Fred's squad. You know what I'm saying? With John, playing with John.
Yeah. That's what I remember. Yeah.
So he came Redondo. I was like, I tell you, boy, this boy's a beast. I saw him in Philly go up and over Manu Bow, like 12 o'clock. Like Manute is here, and he just kept going. I was like, oh my God, like Richard's crazy. So
Yeah. You got to the Lakers. Who was there your first year?
Nick the Quick. Nick motherfucking Van Exel. Yes.
Talk about Nick, please. He got so much game, dog.
He got a chip on his shoulder because he was drafted low. So he got a chip on his shoulder. We drafted Eddie Jones. They already had Anthony Peeler there, who had just got back in shape because he was drinking a little bit. He got back in shape, got his body right, nutrition, and he was ready to go because I saw him at Poly playing. I'm like, ooh. Okay, we might be set. Obviously, my dog, Eldon Campbell, I never saw Vlade until training camp. So I really didn't know what type of person, because he was quiet, on the court. He never really talked on the court playing against him. But I never knew what type of guy he was. And then we had, George Lynch, defensive stopper, North Carolina. We had Pig Miller on the squad.
Was Sedell?
Sedell Threet was there. Yeah, Sedell Threet was there.
Terry Teagle wasn't there, was he?
No, Terry was gone.
All right.
We had Doug Christie.
Ooh. What?
But we had Doug Christie, but then I gave Doug the business and they traded Doug.
Okay, that's what
at training camp. At training camp. They're like, no, you gotta go. And then we had a Big Sam Bowie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Big Sam Bowie. So that was the Lake Show. That's when we started. We took the Showtime
Showtime.
Lakers and we
Yes.
flipped it up. We called it the Lake Show. Like
Lake
we the
Show.
Lake Show. We the Lake Show.
Who?
So
So, um, I just want to know what it was like playing for the Lakers organization, playing in Los Angeles. You grew up here, man.
yeah,
You playing. You a Laker now. Talk about
yeah.
that part, Sid.
It's the good and the bad. You know what I'm saying? The good part, obviously, you playing at the crib.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? I hit Crenshaw before every game.
That's
I
when the
just
Shaw was popping still.
I hit the shot before every game just to get my mind ready on where I came from and where I'm going. You know
What
what
was you
I'm saying?
pushing? What was you pushing?
It
It
varied from a 6'4" Chevy. If it was a day game, I'm coming in a 6'4" Chevy.
on
I'm
on
coming in the
switches,
six.
on
Yeah,
switches.
on switches,
Okay, that's
giving it,
it.
giving
That's
it.
what. Yeah.
You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? But if it was a regular game, I had the top down, depending on if it was raining or not, whatever
Yes,
on the
sir.
bins.
Yes, sir.
But the most cleverest thing is when I got the opportunity to play with Magic, and people should do this too. I think LeBron does it. You should get driven all the time.
Yeah.
Like if I got cheese like that, I'm never driving again.
Yeah. Why?
Like
Why not?
it's no reason. It's no reason why. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
love a good ride, but it's no reason for me to drive. I mean, now I could be on my phone all the time. Anytime I get an opportunity to somebody to drive me, oh, man,
You can be working. You could be
you could be
working,
working. You could be working. You could be resting. You ain't got to worry
resting.
about getting in no accident, your fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it.
Yeah.
If you see LeBron, I'm not giving nobody no ideas on this IG right now. Please don't do this to LeBron. But I'll have an accident with the dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
who?
Yeah.
I mean, so
How,
Magic just did it right. He just did it right, man.
and so you were on the team when Magic came back,
Hmm.
right, that year. Talk about
Yeah.
just what was surrounding that fanfare and how was it, did you feel overshadowed? How was the mood of the guys?
Nah.
Yeah, I'm
It,
just curious about that.
yeah, it was huge, man, because playing ball in LA, everybody shows up at second quarter or halftime.
Yeah.
Whether it's UCLA, whether it's USC, whether it's, they show up. And then if it's the Clippers, they show up at the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. So when Magic came back, we running out that tunnel. It's crazy already. I mean, it's crazy already. Running out the tunnel, it's crazy already. And we just like, whoa, we just rode it in, man. We just rode it in. Like we just rode this way. The only bad part about the Magic coming back is that we were all kids when Magic did his thing. So he's our idol. And we kind of forgot that Magic had Kareem, Magic had Worthy, Magic had Scott, AC, Rambis, Michael Thompson, he had all these dogs with him. And when we got in trouble, okay, we need somebody to come save us, we gave it to Magic. Like, hey, we know you don't save the day, you Magic. But obviously his legs wasn't where it was. He wasn't in that good, better shape. But
Yeah.
we forgot that we got to continue to cut. We got to continue to play. We got to help this dude out.
Can't watch.
And we can't watch, and that's what we doing. We ended up with a video camera. Like, I want to see this. Like no,
Oh
we
yeah.
need you to play.
That's
You
real.
can't watch this dude. You need you to play. So that was our downfall because we watched such greatness as kids. When he came to our squad, we didn't handle it well. We didn't handle being able not to understand that we got to continue doing what we're doing.
Yeah. Summer of I believe '96, Shaq signs
Mm-hmm.
as a free agent. Where were you when you heard the news and what were you thinking when a big fella came to town?
I know I might get me and Shaq might get in trouble for tampering, but he told me when he was in Orlando he was coming.
KJ Live exclusive.
He told me he was in Orlando. Hey, big fella, don't worry about it. When I get there next year, we're gonna take care of it. We're gonna get it. I'm like, okay, all right. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Make that happen. And then Jerry made it happen. And then so I was excited about that, and excited about you drafted Kobe. Kobe coming in. And it just seemed like we was just getting right there, but it didn't work because our first couple of games, I'm the leading scorer.
Yeah. And I want to touch on that, Sid. I skipped over this, and forgive me, I went back. So, Sid averaged in 94, 95, 21.7, and 95, 96, 21.2, was named an all-star in 95. So this is what's popping, just to
Yes.
set the stage. No, go ahead, Sid. You can
So
continue,
you
please.
just give Shaq 100 blah 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 million, and he not the leading scorer, and the dude that's not running the plays is the leading. I'm not in no plays, but I'm the leading scorer. Oh, he got to go. Hey, put it this way: you did not see one Coca-Cola can in the Forum when we signed Shaq.
Yeah.
And Coca-Cola has filled the Forum up for years.
Years.
They switched everything to Pepsi.
Pepsi like a mug.
Pepsi, soon as Shaq. So it's a business, man. You can't have that. You can't have that. That happened to me a couple of times in my career. It happened to me in Dallas too, with Dirk. When Dirk was in Dallas, just like this dude is coming off the bench, and we trying to build a franchise off of the German. And this dude he's the second leading scorer. We can't have it. You got to go. You see ya.
I want to talk about that just in the sense that your game said it really inspired us as a team. I'll be honest with you. We led the nation two out of 4 years in field goal percentage, and it's because we literally our whole thing was Ballos. So when we play picking up, we getting Ballos type buckets. We quick. We yelling it out during the game. Ask anybody. We were just Ballos out. It became part of our lexicon. Like, so when you just talking about getting your bucket, a Ballos, an air one, and just nice. You know how you used to catch it with the real quick, put the shoulder in. Please, said you inspired a generation. At least I know everybody on our team. We would aspire to get Ballos type buckets and be a Ballos, a non-pattern scorer that didn't need a play ran for him, man.
Yeah.
A lot of respect for your game.
That's Robinson Park love, because at the park, if you're a young head and you shoot the ball with these old heads, like, yo, but what the? You got to get it quick, because as soon as you get it, they like, hey, let me get that. Let me get that, dog. Let me get that from you. Let me get that from you. Hold on. That's how I got that. I see Jelani on here talking.
Ballos, man, no, dog. So, cause look, Seth, you led the NBA in field goal percentage, 57% from the field. People just need to just grasp that what you were. You 14-5 for the career. Over 8,000 points. NBA All-Star. I wanted to talk about two things that I kind of want to move before I come back and get your thoughts on your young fella Kobe. I want to talk about the dunk contest in '92.
Right.
The famous one. I always had a question about, your ability and how you came up with the dunk with the blindfold, and could you ultimately see anything out the blindfold, or was it really just like the steps moves like you showed us?
Right. I see you went real corporate with that question right there. And like I told you before, D Brown had took my dab dunk.
Yeah.
So and then the next year I got to play a lot more minutes. So they invited me in, and it's crazy because Magic was diagnosed with HIV, and we played the Lakers in the Forum.
Wow.
And Magic come out early when he was getting in shape to go play in the All-Star game. Yeah. So he was like, Sad, what's up, babe? What you going? We shooting around, playing for drinks, with not alcohol drinks, for those things. You got to go get somebody's Gatorade.
Yeah.
You got to get somebody's Gatorade. Those are the drinks we play for.
Yeah.
So he's like, what you gonna do? D Brown came with you. You're gonna have to come with the whole blind joint. And I was like, okay. Magic gonna be there. Magic gonna play. I'm gonna dedicate the dunk to him. I called the NBA. I was the first one to involve the NBA on my dunks. The very first one. Okay, let go ahead and say it. Exclusive. Go ahead and say it, KJ.
Exclusive, KJ Live.
Yes.
Exclusive, KJ Live.
I called the league and said, this is what I'm going to do. If I get eliminated, I still want to be able to participate to do this dunk to tribute to Magic, this, that, and the other. Now, it was supposed to be a spoof. The dunk was supposed to be a spoof. I was supposed to miss it, almost break my neck. You can't see in the video, but the gorilla and the Magic Puff, the dude in the big suit, they standing on the sideline with a stretcher. They supposed to run out with the stretcher, thinking that I'm hurt, but they put the ball on the stretcher and take the ball out instead of me. And then I get up. It was supposed to be a spoof, because I really tried to make the dunk. but I wasn't real successful at it. But then when I guess the adrenaline and just the hype. Because if you go watch the video, I dunk the ball and I grab the basket and I look over at the mascots and I go, party time.
Yeah.
That motherfucker went in. Party time. Let's pop champagne, baby. You know what I'm saying? And then for those doubters like, oh, he can't really dunk. I already won the dunk contest. I told you, I called the NBA and said this is going to be a spoof. This is going to be something that we do extra, either after I get eliminated or I do it after, which I had already won. I already beat Larry Johnson, Sean Kemp, John Starks, Nick Anderson. I had already beat him. I had already won.
Yeah, that's dope.
So this was just something a little bit extra that the young fellas that go into it, my name. You guys knew me, but my name wasn't worldwide. After that dunk contest, man, obviously the Puma shoe deal came.
Oh yeah.
The commercials, you go to other states and cities and they know you. You go overseas, they know you. I mean,
did you drop a single? Did you drop a single around that time?
Yeah, that's when I went to the Lakers. When I went to the Lakers, yeah,
what
95.
Was that called, man? Because that was banging. I used to watch the video on BT all the time. No, it was in full rotation. It was in full rotation, Sid. Stop it. You remember what was that song, yo?
It was Flow On with Warren G.
On. Yo, that was a banger.
Let me tell you, man, that album with double aluminum. So we had to recycle it. Double plastic. We had to recycle it twice. But it was fun doing it. Yeah. I wrote Warren did the music to it, but I wrote all of his lyrics. I wrote all of my lyrics. Yeah. You grow up in the hood, you want to rap, you know what I'm saying?
I love it.
I directed the video. Shouts out to Tadal, Ricky Harris, rest in peace. He was in the video for me.
Oh, Ricky Harris, rest in peace.
Yeah. So he was in the video for me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. My dude, my little dude who played with me in Ventura, Pookie Wigginton. I don't know if you remember Pookie.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, went to Seton Hall. He was in the video too. Yeah. So there on Venice Beach, I had to represent, you know what I'm saying? So
that was nice.
Yeah.
What did you feel like when you were named an All-Star in 1995? How was what was the personal gratification involved with that?
Yeah, first things first, they didn't, they waited to tell me. I came to practice and Del Harris huddled everybody up and I was like, we don't never huddle before after we stretch. Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? He's like, I just want you to know. And then Jerry West came down. And so I was thinking like, oh man, what's going on? Like, I was like, something happened. Like, why is Jerry usually he watches practices from the same spot he watches games up in the tunnel by the Forum Club, but he came down and I was like, okay, something is happening right now. We either gonna have a trade or whoop. And it was like, you made an All-Star. And I just was like, oh my God. Like, I just came to tears. Like, because I wasn't expecting it at all.
You weren't?
No, was not expecting it at all. I didn't like, the reporters didn't talk to me about it after games. Coaches didn't talk to me about it. My family, we wasn't talking about it, so it just was a total shock. Like, I never knew how the process worked. You know what I'm saying? I never knew how, I didn't know if the league called you or somebody called you or who told you. So I didn't know how it worked. So I just came into practice, just coming to practice and just thinking it's just another practice, man. And, we huddling up and then people all around and you're just like, ooh. And it's crazy because Kareem showed up that day and practiced with us. Mm-hmm. He showed up that day and practiced with us. So I kind of forgot about me making an All-Star team. And
did he have on the sweats? He had
the sweat bottoms. He had the old Stan Smiths on.
No tape.
One pair of socks. No tape. Low tops, and persisted to give Eldon and Vlade the left, the right, the shimmy, and the left. I was like, this dude is incredible. And at that time, he might have been 50 at that time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just, no stretching.
Jeez, no Stan Smiths with one pair of socks, no tape, and giving real life NBA players buckets at 50 years old.
Like, you could not, like, only advantages that they had is that they can run up and down faster than he could.
The captain, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Man, that's an incredible way to find out. Who's the first person you told outside of your teammates and stuff? Who's the first call you made?
Come on, man. That woman who's like, get your ass back in here. The one who taught me how to play ball at Queen Anne Park, man. I called my mom's, man. She's at work. I called her and was like, yo, it's time to retire. She's like, what are you talking about? I said, I made the All-Star team. She's like, wait, you playing? I was like, yes, I made the All-Star team. So tell them that's your last day at work. Like, let's go get it. Let's get
Yeah.
So that was a huge day for me, man. Then I called my brother, you know what I'm saying, and told him. He was like, what? I'm like, man. So everybody was just tripping. Called my grandmother and you know.
Amazing stuff. What's your mom's name, by the way? We haven't mentioned her by name, Seth.
Rochelle.
Rochelle.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Kobe Bryant was a young player when you were there, rookie. Talk about your relationship with him and give us some memories and some thoughts about one of the icons of the game.
I was at the press conference when we drafted him. One of the most as humble and mature young kids I have ever met. I mean, just, real confident, not cocky, just confident about his abilities, wanting to work, asking all kinds of questions. And I'd say this all the time about Cole. He came in the league with about 70 mil in his pocket because he had the Adidas deal, he had the Sprite deal, and I think another endorsement he had. He had about 70 plus in his pocket already. So for him to have that and his work ethic be where it was, I mean, he went to Venice Beach to go ball and broke his wrist, you know what I'm saying? So he didn't get to go to training camp. He went to training camp, but he wasn't allowed to participate. But once he got cleared, he would practice with us in the Forum or at Loyola in the morning. He'd go over to you guys at UCLA, get down with y'all. Then he'll leave UCLA and he lived by Palisades. And he'd get down with the high school kids, because that's their time of practice.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about that.
I'm like, dude, you made it. I'm like, nah, I just love this game. I love this game. And I'm talking leaving one spot and going to another. Like we was kids, we would do that. We'd go to different parks and play and this, that, and the other. But you at the top and you got 70 plus in your pocket. And you still got that same determination to go out and get this work and get it in and compete at a high level. And it's crazy because Dale Harris is an old school coach. He won Coach of the Year, my All-Star year too. He's an incredible coach, good friend of mine too now. He wasn't a fan of rookies. That's just the old school way, man. They just they're just not a big fan of rookies. They Cotton Fitzsimmons was the same way. Just those old school coaches weren't there. And I say that to a lot of people when I talk about LeBron James because it's not only the fact that LeBron is very talented, it's the fact that the coaches allow him to do what he does at a young age. Because I say, body wise, athletic wise, he is Karl Malone. You know what I'm saying? He is Karl Malone, but Karl doesn't shoot threes. Karl doesn't handle a basketball. Karl, mostly has his back to the basket because the coaches would have had a hissy fit if Karl would have came down one-on-one and shot a three. Get your big ass back on the block. That's just the way they were taught. You know what I'm saying? So LeBron was in an era where they allowed him to handle the ball, shoot threes, that whole nine.
I say the same thing about Steph Curry. Look, Steph is going to be Steph, but a coach is allowing him to go between the legs 5 times and pull up from 30. Like that is remember, you really couldn't get that off back in the day, Sid. The between the leg, behind the back, 5-4. I mean, it's butter. It's unbelievable. But again, a lot of it is coaches being cool with it also.
Yeah. And not only coaches when it comes to Steph, and I say this too, I say this a lot. When it comes to Steph, the players that are on his team, it would have been a fight at halftime.
Yeah.
Every time. And I'm talking like Pop's era, when the cats is only making you a bruiser. Maurice Lucas.
Oh yeah.
Xavier McDaniels, guys that Charles Oakley's.
Yeah, them guys.
That all this, they fronts.
Yes.
That's what they get. That's what they get paid for.
All this.
And they're not getting millions at that time. They get maybe 100, 200,000.
Mm-hmm.
But a guy like Steph is making in that era, he's making like 2-3 million.
Yeah.
And you like, hold up, partner. You mean to tell me I'm risking my fronts so you can come down and shoot a 50-footer? Shoot another 50-footer and see what happens. That's what's going to happen. So not only are the coaches good with it, the players are good with it too, because now the players are making like I'm making 10 million, 15 million. Hey, Steph, you want to shoot that? Go ahead. I got my 15. I got my 100.
Totally makes sense.
You know what I'm
Totally,
saying?
yeah,
It's a different era, but and even with Magic, when Magic came to the Lakers, he wasn't the
yeah.
point. Norm Nixon was the
I,
point.
good point.
Then it's like, all right, we got to get this dude up out of here because this dude need to be. You know what I'm saying? Then they made the trade for Byron Scott, shooter, get the ball out of Nixon's hands. Let's give it to Magic. Magic, and I always put Magic at that category because for somebody to come in, even though you got captain, to come in the league and win the championship, like, you know what I'm saying? To come in your league the first year and win the championship is
that's crazy.
Bananas.
It's crazy. And then to serve at 42 and 16 in the game 6 against Philly, hitting them with a hook for good measure. Like that part of it, that's why I think he was 20 years old, like a young 20 or maybe mid, like 20 and 150 something days. I don't know, but he was young. And that Magic, I mean, he's definitely in that whole talk. And he gets left out a lot, said, but
he won. And then look, I can't forget, I got to shout out UCLA on that because Silk, Jamal Wilkes was bananas in that game.
Oh, yeah.
I love Silk. He's bananas. I love the fact that he was, I mean, even though Magic had all that, Silk had about 48 that game.
Silk giving people work.
He had about 48 that game.
Silk with the joint. I could. That was crazy how quickly he got that off. But back to Kobe. What do you think his ultimate legacy is going to be? What is he going to be remembered for the most?
The work. Without a doubt, the work that he put in. The fact that he drives, from Orange County at 3, 4 in the morning to get it in before anybody else, you know what I'm saying, to beat traffic, to all that. I mean, just the work, it's tragic that he, passed in that helicopter, but the helicopter was so he can get more work in. I don't have to deal with traffic. I want to get more work in. So it's just, I mean, he put in the work. Like, forget about the skills. Everybody comes in this league has, Kobe. He didn't have those. He wasn't that crazy when he came in this league. Even in high school, doing damage. He could jump a little bit.
Yeah,
he could flash a little bit.
Yeah.
He was an all right shooter, all right ball handler.
He was at the bucket. Like my early memory, he's in the rim. He's in the rim. He's offensive rebound, tip jam. He's coming through. Yeah. Okay, it's like, whoa. You know what I mean? He was like that.
His obsession. It's amazing. They put this phrase on Joel Embiid because he said it. Yeah. Trust the process.
Yeah.
But Kobe was the process. Like, let me just turn around by Michael. I'm gonna study this month, and I'm gonna get this to a point where you can't stop mine.
Yeah.
And this post up game by whoever, I'm gonna get this down, and I'm gonna split this defense like no other, and I'm gonna all that stuff, and I'm gonna guard the best of the best. I'm not, I don't care what position they playing the point to the 3. I'm guarding the best offensive player you got.
Yeah.
And a lot of players shied away from that. They'll play that game and be like, I ain't guarding the best player. I got to save myself on offense. And I just say, in my opinion, defining him would be just to say the work.
Yeah, absolutely. Said, one more question for you. Just catch us up on what you're doing now. I know you've been turning it out over the last year or so with the DJ stuff. What else are you involved in? What you got going? Just fill us in, man. What's cracking with Cedric Ceballos?
Yeah, this is my 3rd year of being the vice president with the Dallas Mavericks. Enjoyable job, enjoyable job. It was, and let me pay attention to those that are trying to climb that ladder. The stuff that you do 24 hours a day impacts your employment. I got offered this job 3 years ago because of the way I live. I respect everybody. I check on everybody. I don't post crazy stuff. I don't like crazy stuff. When they brought me in, Sid Marshall, our CEO in the Mavericks, she saw me at a game because I was doing television for the Mavericks at the time. Mm-hmm. She saw me at a game, said, I need to talk to you. And I thought that she wanted to talk about the years where they had a lot of, bad, the Mavericks were doing a lot of bad things in the front office, you know what I'm saying, with women and all that whole nine. I thought that's what because I played, and I had no idea that the CEO at that time was doing all those crazy things. I had no idea, but I thought that she wanted to talk about that. So I'm thinking that's what she wants to talk about. She's like, hey, yeah, come on. She's got so much energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on in there. Yeah, look, oh man, you on the TV is fabulous, but let's talk business. I want you to be a part of this staff. And I go, am I getting punked right now? It's like, yes, I need you as a VP. I want you to do be in charge of this. I need you to charge this. I need your innovation. I need your insight, this, that, and the other. So we've been studying you for about 2 or 3 months now. Yeah, we called both Jerry's, Jerry Colangelo, Jerry West. We called all them. They all gave high praise. We looked at all your social media from way, way, way back. And I said, what? So, this little thing that we carry in our hand, these little idiot boxes, man, they
Yeah.
mean so much to other people. They watch and they pay attention what you do.
Yeah.
And it can keep you from having a job or not having a job or getting that opportunity. And, always been cordial, always been respectful. And,
Absolutely.
and so when I got that job, I thought that was just huge. And at first I said it, let me discuss it with my family before I, say yes or no. She's like, there you go. See, right there, I know you're the person that we need. You're not making no harsh decisions. You're thinking it over. I called
Yeah.
my mom. My mom was like, they don't really give too many people of color this opportunity. So you take full advantage of it and you run that race for the next person to open that door for the next person to come in. So that's what I'm doing. I was doing TV for Dallas, not doing that anymore.
Okay.
Trying to still do television. Thinking about a podcast. I started a podcast. That's how my third episode. That's how I got the job in Dallas on my third episode of the podcast. They said, stop the podcast, come work for us on television.
That's
Unites,
awesome. That's
you
awesome, my
know.
man.
And so, I still DJ because I love it. It's just for fun.
It's great, though. It's great,
Yeah,
Sid. It's
yeah.
awesome, man.
I keep trying to step into this voiceover department, man. It's so hard, man. I had a conversation with Tom Hanks one time over ice cream, and he was like, "It's basically somebody making a movie, and they remember, oh, yeah." He said that's how we got Michael Clark Duncan for rest in peace for Green Mile.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see Mike, he been all over the place, man. But he's not
Yeah.
a tall person. But they wanted a person really tall, but all of the people that they were trying to audition were not good, and they didn't have that voice. They didn't come off like that. And
Mm-hmm.
and then he said basically, and they had a past, meaning that they had roles before, and it's kind of hard to see them
Mm-hmm.
as Mike as Mike's role in Green Mile. So he said
Okay.
he remembered Mike, and they brought him in, and everybody was like, "Nah, man, he's too short." And they was like, "Hey, we're gonna bring some boxes in, have him stand on some boxes. We're gonna take this angle. We're gonna
Yeah.
make him look like he's gigantic." And
Yeah.
and Tom Hanks told me that. He said, "And so it's just about who you know. The industry is really about who you know and somebody remembering you. So you got to go to the parties. You got to go to the events. You got to go to the award shows and shake hands and kiss babies, and you got to make people remember you, who you are, and so when that role comes up, they go, "Oh man, Chris would be the perfect guy for this role," or Sad would be the perfect person for this voiceover. Um,
Well,
I want to get a hold of James Earl Jones though, because if he ever need a stunt double for Darth Vader,
you right there.
I'm a roll with it.
The
Because
Golden Pipe.
The Rebel Alliance is,
Said, man, this interview has been incredible. You've been an inspiration to us, a generation of ball players, of young men, for a while, man. I just want you to know that, man. We love you, man. We're so proud of everything that you stand for. And the thing about you, Said, is you've always had this energy, and you always have been cool, and you've always been respectful, and you've always treated people like you want to be treated, is what I've always got from you, man. And so I just appreciate, man, you being around. You were our guy we looked up to when we were in LA. We won a championship, and my whole UCLA career, pretty much, you was in LA, and so we was always just intermingling. So you were the guys that we looked up to and tried to fashion ourselves out of, brother. I just want you to know that, man. Like, it's tough to tell you back then, but now that we older and stuff, you had a serious impact on a lot of our lives, bro, just on your behavior, man, just how you carried yourself. And I wish you the best in everything you do, man. And if you're on live with that DJ set, man, let me in. I want to see you really pizz out there with that.
Hey, I really appreciate that coming from you. That considering you wanted to tear my head off in the Jordan Dome, and you know what I'm saying. But we didn't even get into that. We didn't even get into the Jordan Dome.
I didn't really want to get into that because, man, it was just a thing. It's a competitive thing, Sad.
So let me let y'all in on it. So first things first, the rules were only pros can play. That was the rules, and KJ was still in in college, and obviously Pops, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I don't know, you can really say that this was true or not. KJ was a guy who never wanted to ride Pop's coattail. Like, he wanted to make sure you motherfuckers knew I got these buckets too. Like, Pops is a nice, but I got this too. I got this too. The bloodline is thick. So I was like, I thought this was all. I felt privileged that I was invited, and I'm like, yo, how come the college kid get to get in? He the only college kid in. How come he get to get in? Like, woo, woo, woo. So, and I don't know if you heard me say that or whatever, and you like, yo, I'm about to get this dude. I'm about to get him the business, and he started giving me the business. So I'm like, okay, let's flip the switch and say,
the switch came
let's go
on.
at boom, bucket here, bucket here. Because I wasn't a jump shooter. I couldn't shoot the J, so you can get to the glass or you could catch and shoot. I didn't have to catch and shoot. So the only thing I knew was to get to the glass. So you already scoped me out. I was like, okay, let me back up. And I was like, hey,
it was my only hope.
I was like, hey, ain't no scouting report. I remember saying this. Ain't no scouting reports in pickup games.
I'm over here with the light challenge. Okay, get it and let's go. Kick it out. Oh man,
a young fella wanted to rip my head off that day. I was like, "Oh man, dude's ready, man." I said,
"Nah, but I appreciate the mentor, man. That's what it takes, man. It takes that type of stuff. It takes that competitive nature, bro. And you know, it's all a part of the village situation around here, man." But said, thank you, my brother.
Anytime.
We'll talk soon, ladies and gentlemen. Cedric Ceballos. Appreciate you, dog.
Yeah.